Hey everyone, it's Dim, Mindset Arc Podcast, and today is gonna be a really quick episode. I just decided to kind of detach from all of the self-improvement theme and get in a little bit into my experiences in the past, while I'm having a couple of just not really productive days after some of the physical stuff that I was talking about before. So I want to talk about traveling alone and traveling in general, just what it can give you. And I'm again getting into self-improvement category, but I wanted to talk about my experiences and especially about my first time of traveling alone. That was a year and a half ago, back when I was still in Russia, and that was the travel inside the country, so the culture wasn't really different. But if you ever traveled by yourself, you'll probably understand me how it com feels completely different from traveling with someone else. Because don't get me wrong, traveling with someone else, with a friend, with the partner, with a relationship, whatever, can be really cool because you're sharing that experience. But that is one of the problems there as well, as I think, because sharing that experience is like you creating it together. You're not there for, you're not experiencing that fully. You can experience it halfway. So, and half of the time you're thinking about someone that you're with, traveling with. I don't know, maybe I didn't have much experience traveling with a friend, so probably that may be different if you're just going into some location together and then splitting up and doing some things that you yourself want. But still, I guess you can rely on that person. It is part of you cannot rely only on yourself to meet people, to have new experiences, to just imagine everything that you want to experience in that trip. It takes some pressure away, but at the same time, I feel that you don't experience that fully. So when I was first traveling, I wasn't even on a proper travel on a trip. I just went to another city, I worked in parallel remotely, and I was just exploring the city a bit and just living by myself and going out at nights, exploring the city, and at some moments um, throughout the day as well. And most of the time I was sitting in one of the cafes, so it wasn't really eventful except for the last couple of days when it was the weekend and I got to explore into the parks, into the outside of the city. But overall, this was my first time traveling, and even that uneventful experience when I almost couldn't find something to do. So I was staying in the cafe and worked and did my 365 project that I did at that time with photography. So I took photos and edited them. And I was spending probably 70% of the time in these places, in the flat I rented and that cafe. But this feeling of it has some strange feeling of freedom and this reliance only on yourself, like I mentioned before. Like every decision is yours. And it's not like you're alone at home and alone in the comfortable environment that you already know and you plan your actions. Like when you travel, especially if you do it spontaneously without any plans and you make them on when you already arrive. I love to travel like that. So it's all up to you to find people to find places, to find experiences, to find events, to do something. And even if that do something mostly staying in one of the places that you really liked, it is still your choice, and you kind of making the choice happen, and you imagining what you want, and you actually making it happen, and no one can get in your way. So you don't need to consult with your friends or partner. You don't need to uh, worry about what they are feeling. You don't need to plan so much. You can just go spontaneously there and just figure it out on a spot. And even if you don't do the good job at it, it's kind of okay, because it was your trip. It was your experience. So that's what I experienced there. I was just finding randomly places, or some people recommended me some places. I was finding girls that I went on dates with. I just was walking out at night till late night and just seeing how the city feels like. I didn't need to rush anywhere. I just could do whatever I wanted. And that was really unique experience. I think that was what hooked me on travel. Like, I always liked traveling. Before that, I traveled 2 times with my partner, with my second relationship at that time. And it was awesome. But traveling by myself, it almost, I wouldn't say it gave me a new life, because that wasn't that intense. But this experience was still so unique, and it allowed me, it was the first time I understood that even if I will be by myself in some new place that I don't know anything about, I can still survive there. It seems strange to think about these huge terms, but I mean, I could live there for a while, and I can find something that will add to my life, something that I will be able to do, something that I will be able to relax myself with. I could arrange my life, and that was the first time I realized that, yeah, it is possible. It is possible to travel by myself. And then was the couple of other times that I traveled by myself when I was switching countries. I also traveled between just different hotels. I talked about it, about the trip to Armenia in the previous episode, in some of the previous episodes. And that was in addition, that was my second trip by myself, and that just cemented my resolve to explore new places by myself. I still miss a bit traveling with someone, because it can be really interesting to have someone around, because you just see things from other people's perspective. For example, couple of weeks ago, I traveled with one of the girls I'm seeing to another city, and there was half of the places I visited there. That was because of her. I wouldn't even think of going to these places, because my mind just doesn't think like that. But having different people around you, they can give you ideas, give you just different perspective that you cannot even think about, and you will have awesome experiences because of that. So that can be beneficial as well. And having someone to support you along the trip is an awesome idea too. But I just wanted to point out that I think this going to some trip by yourself specifically for a relatively long amount of time, so like for a week or longer, is almost life changing. It gives you so much new views at your life and the world around you on travel specifically, especially if you don't like sitting and relaxing in one place and just like exploring. That will be an awesome experience. So definitely try that. And I'm still continuing my travels. I still have some plans to what I want to visit else. But this episode was just about my first experience traveling, and that it gave me this confidence that I can travel. I can be around the world, even by myself, even if no one will remain around me. I may feel not good, but my life will still continue. I will find some way. That was my first glimpses of that idea that I can be okay by myself. I think that is really important. That is one of the events that can give you that confidence. So definitely try that. I really recommend traveling by yourself, especially if you're also like to meet other people, just new people there, to just improve your social skills as well. I didn't do really good a good job there. Only like later, I still met some people, but I still have some practice. But I definitely realized that it just allows you, it's kind of pushes you to encounter all of these fears of handling the problems by yourself and finding the solutions. And that is really important. So that was it. That's all I wanted to say today. And I wish you to travel somewhere and experience some awesome new life for you. See you next time.